All right, so this is a first. I have never cooked whole octopus before. I have eaten octopus many times. I gotta put this down. I've always wanted to make a point to cook it, and I just haven't. So I was at the Asian market and they had whole octopus and I was like, why not? Let's go for it. And we're gonna be on this adventure together. Just before we get started, if you want to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, I post weekly recipes, both cooking and dessert related. I appreciate your support, so make sure you like and comment on this video and keep watching my other content. So with this whole thing, which I'm not gonna lie, holding it like this, I am little cringe. It's already been cleaned. Now we have to cut it up and separate things from other things. And it's got eyes. It's literally, it's looking at me. Okay, according to the tutorials I watched, because yes, I definitely watched more than one. We remove the head. These eyes, I can't. God. You just cut below the eyes, you separate the tentacles. Poor Squidward, oh my God. And there is ink coming out of the head. How lovely. I'm just
so obsessed.
And then you cut just above the eyes. Amazing. I was actually very hungry and I am now suddenly somehow not. There are things in the head you have to remove. I really don't want to stick my hands in there. The fact that we're removing like actual organs from this, I would honestly be very okay with never doing this again. All right, head's all cleaned out. I think it was the concept for me of what was going on while I was doing this. Mr. Octopus has a beak that you just apparently push out like this. It's clean and ready. All right, so cooking method for this, I am going to approach this by poaching it and then kind of grilling it so we get the nice char marks, but it's fully cooked through. It has a lot of flavor throughout. And I mean, like these tentacles are long. I mean, hello. My mouth is right by your and anytime I prepare a dish, whether it's dessert or savory, I kind of think of how I want the finished plate to look. I think I might kind of cut them like this so we've got a few. This one is just abnormally low. Well, maybe that is, God, just look at the tentacles, the details of that. That's crazy. Like, insanity. So when it comes to poaching, I have clarified butter, otherwise known as ghee, which is just butter that's been melted and the milk solids, the white foam part, is removed. And this you can do a lot more with because those milk solids are what burns. This is about 2 cups of ghee, which I figured it was probably just easier to buy a jar of it. You just want to barely submerge whatever protein you're cooking. So like when you're butter poaching lobster or shrimp or something, you pretty much stop there because that only needs a couple minutes to poach in a hot liquid. But this octopus, from what I read, takes a little bit longer. And of course, there's always the risk of octopus becoming really rubbery if you overcook it. So it is more difficult of the proteins to cook. So you just got to pay attention to what you're doing. And obviously this is my first time doing it. So going in with an open mind, but I'm pretty much just eyeballing what I think is going to be enough liquid to submerge the octopus. So I had about 4 cups of water and 2 cups of ghee, and octopus will definitely be submerged in that, so we'll leave it at that. Now I also want to flavor the poaching liquid so that this octopus gets infused with tons of flavors while it's cooking. And I am going Asian style here. So when I think of Asian flavors, one of the first things that comes to mind is ginger. Ginger's great for Indian, Asian, and then of course garlic, an international flavor that should be used in so many things. Green onions, love a good green onion. And I thought Sichuan pepper would be interesting to throw into this. It's unique, it's spicy. I always like a little bit of heat with the dishes I make. They have a floral smell to them. So I'm thinking probably just maybe a teaspoon of these peppercorns. And I am gonna leave them whole just because they're going into poaching liquid. So they don't need to be crushed or cracked. Because I think like this, they'll infuse the liquid a little bit more gently and you'll get the nice hint of the floral Sichuan pepper. Whereas if you were to crush this into a powder, it would make this almost too spicy. So I'm just gonna throw these into my poaching liquid. And then with green onions, I'm just gonna take 1 green onion, just gonna remove the bottom part with the roots. And again, this doesn't really need any sort of formal chopping because it's just going in a poaching liquid to infuse with flavor. So I'm just gonna throw that in there as well. Same goes for the ginger. I'm just gonna cut off a little knob of ginger like that. This I'll probably cut into quarters. Throw this in the pot. If you're a vampire, don't come for me. I like the garlic. I'm gonna say about 4 cloves of garlic. So when I'm putting garlic into any liquid that I'm going to infuse flavors in and eventually strain, there's no need to chop it, kind of like the rest of these ingredients. It's just gonna infuse the liquid and that's all we need to do. So with garlic, I'll at least remove the peel, but aside from that, I'll kind of just give it a little crush just to open it up and throw it in the poaching liquid. All right, so that's easy enough for that. Now with poaching liquid, of course it needs to be hot. And I read that this needs to poach for like 30 to 40 minutes, maybe even longer than that. Now I read a couple different recipes that said this could poach anywhere from 40 minutes to an hour and a half. So really the key to know when it's done is to just check it after a certain amount of time. But we need to heat our poaching liquid up just so it comes to a bare simmer. And what I'm gonna do is after it's at that temperature, I'm gonna put the octopus in and then put the pan in the oven so it can continue to just hold at that temperature and I'm not using my gas stove and dying of intoxication from gas fumes in my own apartment. I'm really just gonna keep this over a medium heat on the stove until it comes to a simmer. All right, so the poaching liquid is at a nice simmer. We're gonna season it with some salt, a pretty generous pinch, like maybe about a tablespoon's worth. Anytime you're poaching or cooking something in a liquid, that goes for pasta as well, it needs to be very salty. It may look like a lot of salt, but when you're infusing something with flavor in a liquid like this, you need heavy salt because that is how you're going to get a lot of flavor throughout that. We've got the ginger, we've got the garlic, the green onions, the Sichuan pepper. So I'm just going to lay the tentacles in. They are completely submerged in the poaching liquid. So I've got my oven preheated to 325 degrees. I'm gonna start with like 35 to 40 minutes. That may be way under, but this is a learning experience. This is gonna go take a nap in the oven. So this octopus actually only took about 35-ish minutes. I didn't have to add any time to it, and it pierces easily with a fork, which is how you know it's done, and it turns this really pretty purple color. So I've got a grill pan here. It's super, super hot. It's got smoke coming off of it because we just want to char this and give it some char flavor. Before I do, I'm just gonna hit it with a nice pinch of salt and then just give it some cracks of black pepper. And then I'm just gonna gently lay this on the grill. Probably only for like a minute per side if I had to guess. All right, so I'm just gonna give these a flip. I do not need the smoke detector to go off right now. I'm gonna just let this hang out back here. And then we're gonna get some bok choy sauteed in here because we're gonna put the octopus over the bok choy. So in a nice large saute pan, I'm gonna throw in some sesame oil because I want to infuse the bok choy with the flavor of the oil because bok choy does not take very long to cook down at all. And then I have a yellow onion, well, a part of one that I minced. I want this very small because I don't want there to be big chunks of it in the bok choy, but I want it to give it a little bit of crunch. So it's about 1/4 cup of minced yellow onion. And then I have 2 cloves of garlic that I also minced. And because these are cut so small, they're not gonna take more than about a minute to cook. And I have a few heads of bok choy, which I really, really love. It's a great green to saute. I'm gonna throw in these leaves of bok choy. I'm actually not cutting them. I want them to remain fairly large. And I'm gonna hit these with salt and pepper. Oh, good. So let's get to plating. I think I'm gonna fan a few pieces of the bok choy. Let's get this. Just take our octopus, kind of put it like that. Look fancy?
Yes.
Yay! And then I think just for a little added visual texture, some sesame seeds. That looks fancy. Well, that was an experience. in a first one, and I'm very happy about it because it looks really, really good. I'd say it's probably perfectly cooked. Like, it melts in your mouth. It's not bouncy. It's got a chew to it, but not too much of one. It's got char flavor from the pan. Like, it's really, really good. Really nice. Yeah, I'm proud of this one for sure. I'm sorry, Squidward, but you're really, really good. If you want to join me for future recipes every week, just hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. And of course, make sure you like this video. Give me some comments down below if you've made octopus. How did you do it? What did you think? Until next time, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.